Hello, this is John Lobbins with the BBC. I've come here to Utah to find out perhaps the most relevant news regarding Romney here at the state capitol. We have some passers-by. One we have here is Mr. What was your name? Was it Mark?
Correct.
All right, Mark, you've been eating our roast beef sandwiches. Could you please tell us something?
Romney will win Utah. No question.
Why the hell do you think that?
It's quite obvious. He's LDS. He's heavily favored in the LDS community.
So he has the upper hand.
Oh, already. But the thing about Utah is that as far as the Electoral College and as far as like influence in the federal government, Utah doesn't have much influence in the federal government, except if you're talking about Hatch, who's on several powerful committees.
Right.
Yeah. And just, Romney, because he has, connections with Hatch, and because he has connections with the Republican Party, and because the Republican Party is dominant here, and because not only so he's a shoo-in for the state.
Is it true that Hatch is against Obamacare?
Definitely. Oh yeah, he stated on his website quite clearly he wants to repeal Obamacare, even if it leaves a bunch of poor people out in the cold, so to speak.
I don't think that's very nice to laugh at that, Mr. Mark.
Oh, I've written him, and I said I haven't been able to get real health care for 30 years, and you want to just eliminate any health care for us, and he never responded to that point.
So in other words, there's millions of people in Utah who the federal government thinks are getting care, and
there are millions of people across the country that politicians like Hatch want to leave out in the cold. They don't want to give the poor any health care that will give them a chance to get some real health care. They'll give you substandard or no care.
So you're in favor of not Obamacare, but what would you call it?
I'm in favor of some kind of health care system that guarantees an equal health care for all. I believe caring for everybody is important, not just the rich man and his Cadillac plan, but also the poor man. Who knows what a poor man can contribute? He knows what poor people can do. It's amazing that the potential. Some of the greatest people in history have started out with not very much.
Like who?
Well, look at Gandhi.
I'm talking about an American, Mark.
Well, an American? I don't know right now. Like me, I've had to work my way from the ground up. I'm now going to college. I'm pursuing a degree, and so I'm trying to be one of those wrecks too.
Well, I mean, who cares? Have you got a family? Have you got kids, wife?
Well, I prefer not to discuss my family.
What does this have to do with Rhodesia or what's that country? Gaddafi's country?
Libya. He's now dead, and his country is in the hands of whoever won that whole conflict.
And what does that have to do with Syria?
Syria is run by the brutal dictator Assad.
And why is he making such a big stink over there?
Well, because he doesn't want the opposition to win, and he doesn't want to lose his hold on power.
Well, who gives a crap? I mean...
Well, thousands of people are dying, being slaughtered by this brutal dictatorial regime, so you do the math,
What are you going to tell the people out there who are waiting for some answer from you, a bystander here in Salt Lake City, about what's going to happen with the world at large?
Well, if we arm the rebels and we are serious about protecting them, the possibility of Russian getting involved does increase, and if Russia acts to protect its military investment in Syria, there could be additional problems.
Like what?
Like the beginnings of a world war.
Oh, stop it!
I'm absolutely serious.
Oh, for heaven's sakes! Go home, Mark! So you're saying that Utah may be suspiciously spending its funding?
I don't think so.
Well, you just said that you did.
Utah's spending its funding?
Yeah.
Oh no, I said Utah's. Well, Utah is fairly conservative in its funding.
So you're contradicting yourself, Mr. Baxter.
However, on Jay Leno, they said that Salt Lake City is the gayest city in America.
And what does that mean, gayest city in America?
That it has it does the most to promote the gay lifestyle.
And what does that mean for Utahns at large?
Well, it means it goes against the values of the LDS Church, for sure.
Well, what is the result as far as spending and federal spending here in the state?
Well, the city supports Gay Pride Day. And it also, I don't know, they probably use police funding for the police to keep it orderly and everything. So.
What do you think about the police vehicle that was found atop the building at MIT yesterday?
I didn't hear about it.
Why not? I mean, come on! We're talking about a police car at the top of a building.
Yeah, how did it get there? Did a UFO put it there?
I don't think this is the time to be sarcastic, Mr. Baxter.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the state capitol sitting there right behind you.
Uh-huh.
I think you'd want to say something.
Yeah.
Why don't you come here when you've got something to say? I mean, blast it all.
You invited me here.
Well, we invited you here because you fit the coat we had for you.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Okay.
What about the roast beef sandwiches you've been eating in our car in our van?
Oh, yeah, they're very good.
Well then, for God's sakes, say something important.
Yeah, where's the beef?
Well, Mr. Baxter, we've got a very limited time here and a heavy schedule. We've got plenty of people to interview. Okay. Let's move over to Mr. What was your name?
Well, I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Baxter for his fine and excellent comments concerning the overall political stature of this, or state of the state. So anyway, so what is it you want me to go over?
Well, look, we're paying you. I mean, look, you've been eating our sandwiches, sir.
Oh, the roast beef, right. Well, actually, I haven't had any. I didn't get one.
Well, why not?
Because nobody gave me one.
Any more snide remarks? I'm going to go back to Mr. Baxter here.
Well, you can keep asking questions with obvious answers.
So your views on the gay capital of the world, Salt Lake City, what do you have to say about this?
It seems to be, that in like urban centers like Salt Lake City, it seems that the gay community kind of focuses on metropolitan areas like that in San Francisco and New York. For whatever reason, they like these metropolitan areas. They don't like being out in rural communities so much, or suburban areas, or they find more acceptance in an area of diversity.
So you don't realize that what you're actually saying is putting you in hot water with gays. And now you laugh. I mean, come on.
I don't think I put myself in hot water. I'm just observing a general fact of where they seem to like to live.
Well, I mean, do you think what you say has relevance and resonance with the Sunday schools in Britain?
I don't care what the Sunday schools in Britain have to do with this. I'm just trying to answer your question. I just think that they do the most to actually protect the rights of gays. It's not so much about protecting the gay rights as so much as human rights. And so, in other words, preventing people from being beat up merely because they're gay, or, something like that.
Do cross-dressers fall into that pattern?
Well, I certainly, it's my firm belief that cross-dressing is a problem for somebody. That could get me in trouble with the drag queens of America. But
well, there's non heterosexual and non-homosexual cross-dressers.
Yeah, but you know, I kind of think that poses a problem for the whole heterosexual. I think it compromises the heterosexual status.
Well, let's get back to politics. You are a political activist here in the state. I understand that you go to a university here. We won't name names. What's going on in that university as far as talk about Romney?
Well, I'll be honest. I don't know which university you mean, and as far as being an activist on a university campus, not so much. I don't get involved much in university politics. Generally, I've found a lot of at least student councils kind of ignore the councils, kind of ignore the student needs. They'll won't show up for student council meetings, you know, or you know, in some cases I've observed.
What's a hot topic here in Utah as far as politics goes?
Well, you know, for instance, you know, the Herbert's sweetheart deal.
Tell us about that, Mark.
Well, what I know is that there was a losing bid that won the contract rather than the winning bid, and that winning and the so really the loser won.